Hi, this is Jarbo. We're back with Season 2 of the Zurvivalist, and I am here with Phillip from Trenton. Phillip, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing today, Matt?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for being here. So, all right, Phillip, you know the name of the show, Zurvivalist, about zombie survival. What would you do? How would you survive a zombie outbreak?
I have actually thought long and hard about this. Just being where I live, I grew up on horror movies, and just kind of for fun, one time I thought, I sat down with some friends and we kind of planned out what we might do depending on where we were at. I live up on a mountain, so I'm surrounded by woods. I actually have a trail that kind of goes out my back door that I can run out my back door through the woods around to the front of my house. I am married, have a couple of small kids in the house, so the first thing that I'd always thought of, if anything happened, I would try to get myself out, distract the zombies, have them kind of give chase to me, and then that way maybe my family could get out of the house, get in the vehicle, and maybe meet me somewhere down the road. If that didn't work, I do have some weapons of choice in my house. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, actually, no, that's interesting. I was actually about ready to ask you what kind of weapons you had, and weapons of choice is always an interesting term.
Yeah, it's, I have a lot of, ball bats, shovels, rakes, things like that, a couple of small guns in my house. I know from watching all the movies and everything, aim for the head.
Of course.
I've always been the type of person that, I guess I would rather, instead of shoot one of them in the head, I guess I'd rather just be 100% sure the zombie is dead and just chop its head off. That's
usually the best bet right there. So, okay, so you have a plan to escape your house, and what kind of neighborhood? Like, do you live in a suburb, or is it more like wooded area?
It's more wooded area. I live on a kind of a rural highway up on the mountain, and I have a few houses around me. Like I said, that's kind of an advantage to me, maybe because I have 3 or 4 different exits out of my house. But then again, it could be a disadvantage because it's 3 or 4 entrances a zombie could use to get in.
That's definitely true.
Hopefully, like I said, if it needed to be where I could escape, I could go out my back door, run around, meet my family down the road, and then just kind of escape off the mountain.
Where would you go? Like, would you have, do you have supplies in your house? Like, let's say, tonight, bam, you're in your house and zombies. Like, would you have provisions to survive for a while, or would you need to go somewhere?
Yes, we have plenty of canned foods, bottled waters, things like that. If it was a kind of a drawn-out ordeal, I'm employed at a hotel, and I guess the largest city next to me is about 25 minutes away. I could always make an escape to there if I was able to make it safely out from my plan of escaping the house.
Okay, so you'd go to the hotel, and that's probably, if it's a big city, it's probably going to be infected.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
It's like out of the frying pan and definitely into the fire.
Yeah, that's true. Also, though, since we do live, where we live, we have a couple acres of land, and so naturally we take care of all of our yard work. I keep gas in a storage building. That's where some of my other tools are that, I guess I would just take that gas, fill up my vehicle if I was able to get out, and just go as far as I possibly could go on a full tank of gas.
Cool. Which way would you head? Would you head towards the coast, or would you head down towards Florida, or west, or north, or?
I would think I would. Me being in the South, I think I would head further north, especially if it was kind of a colder time of the year. I would think that colder temperatures probably would affect the zombies more than it would affect, I guess, just humans.
People?
Yes.
Yeah, I use colder temperatures. Well, on the Zombie Survival Guide book, they talk about how zombies would almost become immobile. They'd freeze in the winter, so that might be good to go up north. But now that it's almost summertime, that may not be the best bet.
That might not. Yes. Yeah, I guess, and if it was summertime, I would probably head maybe down towards the coast. to where I could possibly, charter a boat or something and just kind of get out from the mainland as much as possible.
Now, if you were, because you said you're a father and you have your kids, would you try to work with people, or if anyone got between you and your kids, you would just go, like if anyone's trying to rob you or anything? Because there's always that aspect too. It's like you have the zombies and you have your raiding forces of marauders, more or less.
Right. I guess I would. First instinct would be to maybe try to reason with someone and let them know, hey, we're kind of in the same situation. We should work together as opposed to working against each other. Strength in numbers kind of deal. If that didn't work and someone still continued trying to get into my house to, maybe rob me of my goods that I have saved up, then yeah, it would kind of be to where, I take care of my own first.
Oh, of course. So I kind of want to go back to, you said chartering a boat. Where would you go? Because it's always like you have the escape, and then it's the running, and then it's like, okay, now we have to find out, where are we going to go? What do you think your plan would be from getting on that boat?
Right. Well, me living in Georgia, I could be, down to the coast in just a few hours. There's a few small islands off the coast that we actually visited and went on vacation this past year. So I guess I would hope that the outbreak hasn't reached that area also. If it is a situation to where the outbreak has occurred and it's kind of engulfed the entire South and has also engulfed those islands, I probably wouldn't do me much good no matter where I went. That would probably be my number one priority, would try to get somewhere, get to one of those islands, if it is this time of year. Like I said, if it was the winter time, then maybe up north. Okay.
And so you have your family and you're on the island, would you be able to, do you know how to, you're from the South, so I don't know how this, I'm from the big city personally, so I don't know how farming or anything like that. Do you know how to farm and grow crops and all that? Could you sustain life?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up kind of in the, I was raised actually in Tennessee, but it was pretty much the same general area as far as, acres, land, things like that, kind of up on a mountain in a small town. And when I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. My parents worked hard for what we had, but a lot of the things that we ate, we grew. So I think if I had to start over somewhere, I think that would really benefit me in the long run.
I agree. You'd have
to, raise my own food, take care of my family that way, and just, kind of growing up, without all the advantages that a lot of people have today and have had before, would kind of make me a little stronger to take care of my family.
I can definitely understand that. So, okay, let's get to more or less just the final question. This is always a big one, and I love getting people's responses on this. Let's say you were bit. What would you do?
Myself, knowing what would happen, just growing up on horror films and watching everything, kind of knowing exactly what that would lead into. If I were bitten, definitely I would probably take one of my guns and just end myself right then. I would not want to, in that transition period, be thinking in the back of my head that if I turn into one of these creatures, then I could go after my wife or kids. And I think even for those few seconds or few moments in that transition period, I think that would really just be the toughest thing that I'd ever endured. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be my answer. I'm 100% sure that's what I'd do if I were bitten. And if I had a weapon right there beside me, then, yeah, I would go ahead and take my life.
Well, that's, I think, what a lot of people would do. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. I'd like to thank you, Phillip, for being on the show, being on our season opener. It's been a pleasure having you.
It's been my pleasure.
And for all of you guys listening at home, you can always find us at facebook.com/KZOM Radio. And this show is brought to you by Monsters vs. Monsters, the low-cost alternative to high-cost entertainment. I'm Matt Jarbo, and I'll see you guys next week on The Zurvivalist. Thank you.